Section 21 of China, Japan, and the Islands of the Pacific. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Sonia. The World's Story, Volume 1. China, Japan, and the Islands of the Pacific. Edited by Eva March Tappan. Section 21. The Prodigal Emperor Wang Ti by Rouncewell Wildman. In the middle of the 6th century ruled one Wang Ti, the most reckless and wildly extravagant emperor that ever occupied the dragon throne. Wang Ti lived a short life and a merry one. No expenditure appalled him, and no sacrifice of blood and treasure deterred him from following to the very end any of his fancies. Even the building of the canal system that has made his name famous was a whim for the gratification of his own pleasures. He wished to visit all the prominent cities of the empire in the most comfortable and luxurious way. He ordered that canals be immediately dug from the river Pin, a branch of the Han, in Hupeh, to the river Se, a short stream in Shantung, another from Se to communicate with the river Huai, and that the existing watercourses be widened. At the same time he ordered built 40,000 dragon boats for the accommodation of his 3,000 favorites and immediate court. The canals were not mere ditches, but magnificent examples of both engineering and artistic skill. Nothing was left unfinished to offend the critical eye of the dandy. They were 120 feet wide, lined with cut stone, with paved roads on either side, shaded by full-grown trees. Taskmasters drove the laborers day and night, and of the 1,000,000 men employed it is stated that over 40% died. In the first royal journey from Loyang, the capital, to Nanking, the procession of boats extended for over 60 miles, and 80,000 soldiers were detailed to drag them. The royal barge was 200 feet long and 40 feet high, with 4 decks. Every district through which they passed was levied upon for provisions to support this immense host in transit. The magnificent pageant swept through the empire for 8 months, the wonder and ruin of all who came within its reach. The vast palaces, gardens, towns, artificial lakes, and mountains that Wang Ti the Magnificent built in the short 12 years of his reign were, according to the custom of the times, destroyed by his successor. But the canals remained a blessing to the descendants of the laborers who had died in their construction. Nebuchadnezzar, the pharaohs, Nero, and Louis XIV were but feeble imitators of this royal Chinese spendthrift. Cleopatra's barge and Babylon's hanging gardens were duplicated on a magnificent scale by Wang Ti. He had a godlike genius for spending money. In his palace garden, which was so great that it contained an artificial lake 3 miles wide and 3 artificial islands 100 feet high, the flowering shrubs and trees were kept in perpetual bloom by skilled workmen, who renewed every fallen flower with such exquisite imitation in silk and satin that no one could tell the natural from the artificial at a short distance. After his death it was discovered that he had used all up the precious metals in the empire, and that money was so scarce that pieces of leather and paper with their values stamped upon them had to be used in trade. He took his dethronement with the same gay nonchalance with which he had sat upon the throne. To his queen he said, "Joy and sorrow both come to every man. Let us, then, bear each as it comes, and make the best of life we can." And of his princely executioners he asked, politely disinterested, "What sin have I committed that you wish to take away my life?" "Sin," they replied. "Why, what sin is there that you have not been guilty of?" "What you say may be true," answered the royal Chesterfield. "Hand me the silken cord. I have had more pleasure in my life than you can have at my death." The House of Tang opened a new era in the history of China, and marked the close of what might be styled the Middle Ages. It has appropriately been called the Augustan age of Chinese literature. Each emperor strove to outdo his predecessors in the fostering of scholars and the education of the gentry. Great libraries were established, schools sprang up, poets, essayists, and historians thronged the successive courts. The complete poems of the Tang dynasty will be found in the home of every well to do Chinaman of to day. The writings of Confucius were annotated and popularized, and in 740 that deathless teacher was raised to the rank of a prince, and his statue placed above that of the famous Duke of Chow. The sixth emperor of the Tangs founded Hanlin College, A.D. 755, the great postgraduate university of China. End of section 21. This recording is in the public domain.